Before we start, I want to clarify something. A lot of people believe the lines labeled voice in the Lockrez folder of the game belong to Vanny. There are lots of websites that present it as indisputable fact. It's not, but I understand why you might have believed it was. They're referred to as the cut Vanny lines all over the place. These aren't the only cut lines I'm going to mention today. Another character lost lines, and it seems like no one's talking about them. They fit in beautifully with the others, and I think it's a shame that these are being glossed over. I haven't even seen anyone mention they exist. I also feel I should mention that I'm in college, and it's started back now. So things are going to slow down for the duration of this semester. But it's my last one, so at least there's that. I have a ton of stuff I want to release on this channel. I have nearly 10 different video ideas that I've thought out to varying degrees, and a bunch in a list that are waiting on my attention. I thought that making these would just be kind of fun, but it turns out that I absolutely love this. With that said, let's move on to the video. I found myself really drawn to speculating about the intended purpose of these lines. They're interesting, and I think they'd have drastically improved the cohesiveness of the game. So let's talk about them, while remembering that this is all a huge what if. We don't know the context these lines would have been set in, or who says them. There's not even a guarantee they're all from the same person. I want to make it super clear that I'm not removing Vanny from the list of suspects. Some lines, like it's using you to finish where she left off, seem more like someone talking about Vanny, while other lines, most notably, bring him to me, could easily be Vanny. A couple of these unused lines refer to a key. I was able to upload some helpful code. It should look like a key, and use the key. The only mention of a key that really stands out to me from the actual gameplay is Mystic Hippo's line when you obtain the Phaz Wrench.
Use the key to confront the darkness. The key is familiar to you.
This would imply an outside party sent the Phaz Wrench into the VR world so that we could access the room with the inhibitor and the Princess Quest machine. There are also some instructions along the lines of deactivate the inhibitor, remove your mask, and use the token that definitely feel like this voice would have been leading us toward the Princess Quest ending. So does that mean it was Vanny all along? Not necessarily, but let's get these lines in order first. These lines are found in the Lockrez file within the game. If you look at the beginning of each line, it has a kind of label. Voice_HW2 for help wanted to, and then a number. These numbers range from 1 to 23. Voice 24 is used in the Breaker Room minigame and belongs to Hand Unit. If we arrange them in the proper order, we get something that makes a bit more sense. Act natural and don't say anything. The staff might get suspicious. Don't worry, they can't hear me. I'm on a special signal the staff can't process. I was able to upload some helpful code. It should look like a key. Find a place where we can talk safely. You need to listen to me carefully. Don't help it escape. It's using you to finish where she left off. Only a small piece of his code remains. It's bound to the past. Find its memories and return. Look for my messages. They will guide you. Use the key. Open the door. Why won't you help? Make it stop. Find them. Release them. You have a chance to end it. You are the last. It kept you for a reason. Deactivate the inhibitor. Remove your mask. See the world as it really is. The memories are freed. Use the token. Bring him to me. Breaking this down a step at a time, we have our first contact with the voice, where it instructs us to act normal. It mentions staff bots as if they're a threat, which tracks with them being the ones to grab us in the hub ending. They're clearly under the virus's control. The special signal bit makes my brain tingle though, just like the next line does. I was able to upload some helpful code. What, like hacking into the VR system? It definitely implies they're not in here with us. Find a place where we can talk safely is pretty self-explanatory. what with the staff bot supposedly being a threat and all. The next few lines give us some good exposition for this story. Don't help it escape really feels like it should be referring to Glitchtrap, and implies that the hub ending and collecting the Phasforce is us helping it escape. Where she left off is, presumably, where Vanny left off in doing his bidding and trying to free or rebuild him. The small piece of his code is probably the Glitchtrap plush from the ending sequence. We also find an explanation for what and why the memory plushies are. Glitchtrap is bound to the memories of these dead kids, and you have to release the memories before you can be rid of him for good. The voice then promises to leave us messages to guide us to the memories. It's kind of strange here that these are referred to as its memories. Dialing 1983 on the keypad and burning Fall Fest feel very lore relevant. Throwing a bunch of Chica-themed food in the trash or making a Soderoni graveyard really don't. I'm not even sure if they'd have ended up being his memories in the end, and I'll mention why in a bit. This is where we start getting the simple instructions. Use the key, open the door, deactivate the inhibitor, remove your mask, and see the world as it really is are all in the expected order. In the middle of them, you have some other lines. Why won't you help? Make it stop. Find them. And release them. All feel like they're perhaps cues to urge us onward to find the dolls. Maybe they'd have played if we ignored finding the memories and aiding the voice, the same way that Helpy gets mad when we don't open the Phasforce presents. You have a chance to end it is pretty cut and dry, with the player character having a chance to get rid of the last part of Glitchtrap's code. But you were the last? That one's certainly different. The last what? The last employee still here? The last person under Glitchtrap's influence? Maybe the last one left alive that was involved in the crying child's death? This line could mean so many things, and it's more cryptic than the others we've been over so far. It's just weird, and so is the next line. It kept you for a reason. It's meaning Glitchtrap? What reason would he have to keep us? Does keep us mean locking us in VR, or does it mean not killing us? Maybe it means not relinquishing control of our mind if we're already infected? I'd love to hear your thoughts on what these couple of lines might have meant. The rest is fairly standard instructions for finishing up the Princess Quest ending here. The memories are freed, use the token. We have all the dolls, we can play Princess Quest now. Though, freed is an interesting choice of words, as it implies they were being held captive. Before, the voice said they belonged to it, but now they're freed. What's that about? Are they Afton's memories or the children's memories? I'm not sure there's a way to know, but what I am pretty sure of is that the last line, "Bring him to me," is said by the giant Vanny. Since these lines were cut, we aren't necessarily bound by the listed voice roles in the credits. It's possible some or all of these lines didn't even make it to the recording phase. It's unfortunate because I think that whatever this was going to be would have been something special. The only thing we know for sure is the content of the lines. I'm hesitant to attribute everyone to Vanny for the simple fact that there's someone else that should be with her and knows much more about hacking into tech. Gregory. I find it far more believable for Gregory to have uploaded some helpful code and be communicating via a special signal the staff can't process. He is the tech prodigy, the hacker with all the unbelievable scores in the video game is there, the one whose signature is all throughout the hacked code. I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool to be playing, minding my own business, when suddenly, boom, there's Gregory's voice coming from the ether. The voice that we, as the real-life player, already learned to distrust and ruin. The instinct is to ignore him, to do the exact opposite of what he says, because he's obviously evil or the mimic or something. Except we'd have been wrong. We go against Gregory, firmly believing he's tricking us, and end up playing right into Glitchtrap's hands. But when we do listen to Gregory, and go into what would seem to be another trap, we show up and find the major twist that Vanny's been here all along. She commands Moon to retrieve the Glitchtrap plush for her, and we realize that Gregory's been working with her this entire time, and now he's tricked us into freeing... Wait, did she just crush him? That would really turn things upside down for us. Was that Vanny, or was it Vanessa just trying to trick Glitchtrap into lowering his guard? Does that make Gregory good or evil? Sure, we end up stuck here in this arcade machine, but if it means that we're finally rid of Glitchtrap and his potential to destroy countless innocent lives, is that worth it? Is this the same version of Gregory that'd be willing to drop his friend down an elevator shaft to make sure the Mimikendo stays trapped? Is this just the trolley problem with extra steps? Has the hippo been in on this the entire time? These voice lines aren't the only ones in the Locres that seem to be missing audio files. Mystic Hippo lost some of her lines too, and they're pretty interesting.
The door. Find the truth. The path is grim. You stray from the light. Seek the caged memories and alter your fate. You have found them all. A great weight has been lifted. The one is angry. Take the token. The princess needs you.
Based on the numbering system mentioned before, these would have played after she mentions you getting the key, and in this order. It coincides really well with the other lines, but that's a video for another day.
Hello, can you hear me? Do not be afeared. My crystals have a message for you. Some parts remain. It needs you. She needs you. Do you remember? What makes you so special?